Who are you, gentle sprouts? メインスクリーンオン、主様。
Hey everybody! Welcome Changeling Chain, welcome Meryl. As you can see, I have been working on my my avatar a little bit, maybe a lot. Changing up like the textures a bit. Minecraft beekeeping. I want to get back to that. I really enjoy like having some things and having other things and like sticking those things together and getting even different things and then taking those things and sticking them with all the things to see what I can get. What else was I gonna say? Yeah, I updated my avatar by a bit. A little bit. One thing I noticed is, like my eyes last time, they were messed up a bit. Like, I was using like the same shader. I hadn't changed the shader, but like, for some reason, I don't know if it's VC Face or Unity or whatever, like, one thing is supposed to be in a multiply over the other texture, but it wasn't, so you only saw one texture. I fixed it manually though, so. What else? It's like really cold outside, so I have my window open. Still looking to redo everything for Halloween because, well, it's one of my favorite, holidays. Alright, PC Face, this should be the front look. I figure if I don't like what's going on here, then I can just change it back. It's one thing I like about 2D avatars over 3D avatars is, with 3D avatars, if you don't like what you did with your texture, you can just change it back to whatever your texture was, as long as you didn't delete it, overwrite it. With 2D, live 2D things, you have to change the entire drawing. Although nowadays, I think certain programs, like if you just add accessories, you can just simply remove those accessories. But Revenant Saga. We're gonna saga some Revenants, finally. Finally, after I can get this working. And not, like... I really hate in Windows how... if you want to basically move your like window across from one to the other, it suddenly wants you to like resize the entire window. But when you want to resize the entire window, it's like, yeah, no, no. The bee cage. Uncage your bees, free them! Free them from their caged bee existence. Only free-ranged bees here. Switch to 16:9. Rent type. Switch to 16:9. Don't make me push the button myself. Is this the setting I need my microphone on? Switch to 16:9. There we go.
16倍9主様。
Revenant Saga? Revenant Saga? Hello? OBS, can you for once just be consistent? Revenant sagging way too... Like... There we go. I don't know why it does this. Some days it's like it works, other days you have to poke it to work. I forget what we were doing, other than there's probably going to be a lot of talking. Alright. At least it has kind of a journal thing going on here. See, what button was it? No. Whoops. I'm so used to like the right button being the confirm button from playing Nintendo stuff. There we go, that's what button I'm looking for. Oh yeah, my Bluetooth seems to be dying, so my controllers are... their inputs are lagging. How the hell do I get over there? I see a chest, I want to open the chest. Might have to switch my... there we go. Might have to switch my controller. The one that's not... agility cuffs. The one that's not, like... doing this. You've defeated the huge Revenant, causing the monsters to converge on the village. I cannot thank you enough. You can thank me with money. What's this? The inn is out of business at the moment, then where am I supposed to stay until they... huh? There you people are! I'm the record keeper of the 13 different records. I keep one for the total gold spent. Now let's get down and have a look at your finances. Brigadoon. If you're looking to get anywhere with this, my friends, you're going to have to let go of the purse strings and you've got such a tight grip on... Now get out there, waste a ton of gold to make the economy come roaring back. Ha ha ha. Papa! Mama! Right after Sophia reported seeing a vision, revenants attacked the village. There's no doubt in my mind they did so with the intention to kill her. Revenants suddenly attacked the village and scores of people were slaughtered. Zealot headband. I have two of them? Alright, if this controller keeps up, I'm switching controllers. Cutscene! Have we arrived too late? Are you with the Order? Indeed, we were ordered by the Premier to escort the girl here who had received a vision back to the Sanctum. Regrettably, it appears we were unable to make it before. Not so! The village may be in ruins, but the girl you're looking for is safe. Sudden music change. Praise be to Restoria. Is this true? Sophia! Yes, I'm the one you're looking for. And you must be the Valkyrie candidate. Yes, and it's a pleasure to meet you. Is your desire to train to become a Valkyrie? It's been my dream since I was a child. Isn't this great? You'll get to train with the best of the best. I have no doubt you become a great Valkyrie. Calling in here, Sophia is also a Revenant. You're probably right. That's exactly what I hope to do, and by becoming a Valkyrie, I'll be able to protect everyone. But most of all, I want to become one just like you, Esther. Like me? Well, I guess you could say I am one of the greats, couldn't you? I think you should set your sights a little higher. Actually, if they're too high, she may never be able to achieve her goal. I think Esther is a good start. Wow. Thank you for the encouragement. Albert, Bruno, I don't think that either of what you said. Wait, I don't think what either of you said sounded like a compliment. Esther is back to her old self, but I'm glad. One other thing, I am carrying a letter from the Premier addressed to— wait, no, that's the priest. Never mind, I could continue with this voice. I'm carrying a letter from the Premier addressed to you. This is it here. Please consider whatever is written in it. As for ourselves, we must now return to the Sanctum. Are you ready to go, Sophia? Yes. Thank you for everything. I look forward to the day when I can become a Valkyrie and fight side by side with you all. She's so innocent and adorable, it almost reminds me of myself. Back to the letter, what does it say? Wait, I forgot to change everything, didn't I? I'm not fishing, I am... Revenant Saga-ing. Game change. Maybe. Turns out that we were the Revenants was just like the normal people here. Also, if anybody is watching this video later and you want to know how I did the give me my hands, did my hair things, it's kind of simple. It requires the Poyomi shader because no one's like made a multi-layer shader that works the same way yet. Because, you know, why make something that everyone can use when someone's already made something that only a few people can use if they pay? I've always been able to throw gang signs for a while. Like, getting the hair to do this is just, like, kind of really simple. I'm probably gonna, throw the texture that I use, like, on the internet, because it's just, like, it's nothing but a bunch of, like, circles in a line of various sizes that I did in, Inkscape. And then what you do is you throw it on, like, the hair piece that you want it on, or, like, the whatever piece that you want it on, and then I tiled it a couple times in one direction. Tiled it twice in one direction and 4 times in another direction, and it gives that effect. And, like, the glowy effect is just emission, just setting the emission up high and picking a color. Where was I? Complaining about my controller and actually doing voices for this game. It appears His Majesty the King praises our efforts and desires to bestow a reward upon us. The King does? It also states the Premier will be awaiting our arrival in Esperance. Esper means hope in other languages, including the language Esperanto, which is supposed to be like the language of hope. But I think Esperanto also in Spanish or Italian means to hope. It's almost hard to believe we'd ever be thrust into the spotlight like this. At any rate, we should make for Esperance in light of the Premier being en route to the royal city. I suppose you're right. Yeah, I mean, there are still people that learn Esperanto, but like, the people, like, I have a story about Esperanto that I'll tell after this cutscene. I suppose you're right. But still, how is it the Premier even knew we'd be here? Maybe it's just a coincidence. I believe it was most likely a revelation from Restoria. And fuck this controller, or I should say, the Bluetooth is really, really bad for some reason. My Bluetooth controller thing is probably dying. I probably need to get a new one. Oh, what? Now you're just not gonna work at all? Whoops. Wait, nope, go back. You'll work, right? Tell me you'll do the thing. Make the game go, please. I guess I'm using this controller. The game's like, yeah, no, that controller, only that controller. Either that or the Sanctum has one of the most extensive networks ever. Especially given how accurate and reliable their information always is. But don't you think sometimes it's too accurate? Maybe, but we've never been inconvenienced because of it. Now, I suppose that is true, but this is not the time for debates unless, that is, you do not intend to travel to the capital. One last controller. No! Alright, let me reset myself. Reset yourself before you wreck yourself. Are you kidding me? Of course I'm going! And the best way to reach there is to head south from here and make our way through the pass. It sounds like we're in for a long journey. Blah, blah, blah. The one who permits something something, the button got, like, lagged and kicked over. We should prepare there! Right, then to the cairns it is! Could be a trap, could be more exposition. Well, you know, I was gonna, like, pull up the thing to see what it said, but, I really, really hate games that don't have a log feature that you can roll back to see what was said, because, you know, some people, their controllers are doing weird things like lagging and then double pressing buttons when they press buttons. After losing everything gambling, all I have left are these bags of ultimate crystals of the large variety. And I am hesitant to ask, but how does 45 for a pile of gold sound? Pardon me for pointing this out, but you appear to be well short of my asking price. Rest assured, I know the value of these crystals. How about, like, let me buy them, like, you know, 2 or 3 or 4 at a time and until you're out? Cause, like, you know, and also, I don't like that I'm paying your gambling debt without you saying that you've gone through gambling counseling to, like, maybe get rid of your gambling addiction, because I don't want to be an enabler. We have no money and place to live, and I'm starving. Well, maybe, how about you You join me and we reform society to crush capitalism. I guess that might be a quest I have to come back to. Well, obviously, if they have capitalism, if she can't get a home or feed herself because she doesn't have any money, or her grandpa doesn't have any money to pay for any of those things, and he feels he has to gamble to get more money to buy the basic necessities of life. I recently came to work at the branch here as a cleric, but I cannot tell you what is going on in the village. Even so, I'll do my best to serve the people. If Sophia had a vision, it means she'll be a Valkyrie in the future, doesn't it? Why is all the bad stuff happening to us? What did we ever do to deserve this? Exist. I want to say, first of all, I think I'm gonna do a scheduling change in October to play only, like, spooky games for the whole month. So, Fishing and Revenant Saga are probably gonna, be paused. It could be straight up feudalism. Feudalism is capitalism with a side of, the nobles, a side of, like, the religious noble BS. I just drink myself out of the picture. You know what? This is kind of actually bothering me. One moment. I want to say it could be my PS4 controller because it's kind of old and, like, it's seen things. Feudalism is not capitalism because its crux is different, so it functions differently. But outside from that, capitalism is feudalism's grandkid. So they're at least related. The apple didn't fall far from the tree. And corporations are kind of getting back and trying to go back to corporate feudalism. Feudalism, colonialism, capitalism. But wasn't... They're already talking about company towns. Like, no one remembers the song, I owe my soul to the corporate store. We're in the cyberpunk dystopia without the cool stuff. Yeah, where's my, like, robot butler that spams ads to me and, like, reports me to the authorities of everything I do bad? Oh my god, my trash can's blue again. But didn't they do colonialism for the capitalism? Yeah, but my smartphone doesn't have like a sexy male voice. It has like a female voice. Because Cyberdeck is more cyberpunk. Let me pull out my Cyberdeck. Boop, 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 boop. You mean your smartphone? My Cyberdeck. Also, it's a boring-looking cyberdeck, minimalism yuck. Yeah, where's all my, like, gadgets and, like, things that just look cool, but they don't actually do anything? I at least want robot arms. Where are the robot arms I was prompted? They actually do have robot arms now as prosthetics, but of course, like the medical field being in this capitalist hellhole, they're very expensive, so no one really has them. Like, I actually was reading about, a woman who was charging her prosthetic arm in the, like an airport outlet. Although one thing I'll disagree with for prosthetic arms is I don't think we should go towards, like, teaching people to use the prosthetic arm, like, this is how you use it. Because, you know, when I lift my arm up, my brain just knows that, but I think with some, like, the advanced prosthetic arms, you have to learn how to use it. To where it's, like, you have to rethink on how you lift the arm up, which I think what I'm saying is I think we need to get to the point where we change the arm to where it operates like a regular arm, to where you just think and it raises, instead of saying, well, this is the way it is, you're just gonna have to think differently to raise your arm. I want clothes with neon tubes and easy sex changes, facetiously using that term. Clothes with neon tubes already exist. Well, maybe not with the neon, but with the glowy substance. Easy sex changes, well, we're working on that. Or at least Sweden might be working on that. A lot of them pick up muscle movements rather than direct neural interface. Yeah. But we're actually getting toward direct neural interfaces, and I've heard we've been able to see what people are dreaming, but it's still very blurry. Then again, dreams are clear, but they're also not clear. It's like there's a layering effect that goes on, at least with my dreams. Because, like, you know, you're dreaming something and then just, it's like I'm in a house, and then suddenly the house is different, and then the house is reconfigured, but your brain, it doesn't reconfigure like right in front of your eyes, it's just, it exists suddenly as it is. Trying to find my way out of this town. But as you see, the clothes with neon tubes are expensive. In Cyberpunk, grifters and vagrants wear them all the time. Alright, but you see, the clothes with neon tubes are expensive. In Cyberpunk, grifters and vagrants wear them all the time. Yeah, you know, that just needs to be the thing. Alright, we're going down there. I think we go this way. honestly, have you ever noticed that, like, in the business world, there's always a suit? Suits have been the thing for, like, since forever. Like, that fashion hasn't changed. And I don't know, common fashion nowadays is just kind of hasn't changed. Wait, no, I needed to go down. I think it was the Bosnians who introduced neckties to suits. It's a big un. But the Esperanto thing that I was going to say like 500 years ago, basically Esperanto is supposed to bring everyone together and everyone's supposed to be nice and everything, but it's a gendered language. And every single time I've tried to get into Esperanto, the misogynists have always been like, no, we can't ungender it or neutral gender it because of it'd wreck the language or something. And that's why I stopped learning Esperanto. They had 3 times, and 3 times it struck out. I forgot to sleep. Also, it's a poor universal language when it's just based on European languages. Yup. And Edo, which was supposed to be its successor, is even worse because it's just basically French. It's literally supposed to be a constructed language. Why do we need to borrow tropes from existing languages? Well, also the problem with Esperanto is that to do anything with the language needs approval from the council, and the council is very conservative. And to have a world language, it needs to be constantly updating itself. It needs to be for the world and not, like, unchanging. Alright, it's asleep. I mean, honestly, we need a constructed language that's not based on any languages whatsoever. Which means everyone would have to come to the language with 0 anything. That's not what I wanted! Well, it's awake now. What is the opposite of what I wanted? Ow. And then right before it dies, I get a insta-kill. Penetrator, Grand Heat learned. I'm not a token fan, but I would be amused if Reddit or something managed to get people to actually use Elvish in everyday life. Say what you want about Token, but he knew what he was doing with his con. But his conlang is Elvish is based on Swedish. So just learn Swedish. Wait, is there no inn? Is there no inn? Are you serious? Damn it, somebody take my money so I can sleep in the beds. I don't care if you don't actually work for the inn or not, and aren't actually going to give the money to anyone. I think it was heavily based on Swedish with maybe little bits from the Germanic languages. Mad slime cannot be stolen from. But I know it has a basis on real-world languages. Box! 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 So I don't even think Elvish would be a good conlang because, well, it's based on real-world languages. I mean, for pronunciation, I would rely on, like, the common standard pronunciation for, letters, like, from Spanish, Japanese, that kind of pronunciation. Because it's kind of a pronunciation a lot of languages agree on. But then other, of course there's other, you know, saying things, like Chinese has, like, piles and piles of tones and stuff. Well, I suppose leveling up just, you know, it just heals you naturally. But just, you know, have a basic of, like, find the language that has, like, the least amount of, syllable things? Let me be technical and call them syllable things. And start from there, like, make it easy for them to pronounce, because, like, the rest of the world can usually pronounce that. Phenoms? I think that's it. Phenomenies? Because, like, a lot of people say Mandarin because the tones are hard. Penny's tones are funny to me because, like, a lot of people say Mandarin tones are funny. Is Cantonese, like, easier? But Mandarin was created because the Manchu found classical Chinese hard to pronounce. Yeah, and then they went to the simplified, Cantonese has 6 tones. And they went to the simplified set of Hanzi because, oh, it's just hard to learn all those complicated Hanzi. And then Taiwan exists. Mandarin has 4. Oh, okay. So Mandarin's technically easier. Aren't the 4 tones, like, rising, falling, and then straight? Simplified is a Communist Party creation. Honestly, I don't like simplified Chinese. Because I've been learning Japanese, non-simplified Chinese is easier to read because it's what the Japanese borrowed, stole, use is the non-simplified. So if you learn non-simplified Chinese, you'll have a better grasp, or traditional, you'll have a much better grasp of the kanji than learning the simplified script. Shinji Tai is also simplified script. But not as simplified as simplified Chinese. Which is how Arino couldn't technically read the words on that one arcade game because it was like too simplified. But like standard Japanese, yes, is simplified, but like not that much. Your Holiness, I must say your insight has been astounding to say the least. How have you managed to raise up 4 unlikely heroes who will be a model for generations to come? And you especially inspiring to all those within the ranks of the Order. He's played lots of RPG games. He knows how it works. At present, even the king trusts the Order more than he does his own men or the aristocrats in government. This is all according to the will of Restoria, and due to the things achieved by Albert and those with him. Therefore, if it would be possible, I would like to request audience with His Majesty, the King, for them, in order to reward them for their efforts. Your Holiness, this young woman with us has recently received a vision as a prime candidate to become a Valkyrie. It is an honor to meet you, Your Holiness. You have done well to arrive here. I honestly forget what voice I gave him. Let us perform the initiatory to set you apart as a Valkyrie at once. Now, if you would follow me. Yes, Your Holiness. And she was never seen from again. But the thing is that the Communist Party considered the traditional script a barrier to educating the masses because it is honestly hard with all those strokes. Dare I say, maybe they should have adopted the Shinji Tai. Yes, someone's gonna kill me for that. Which is how Korean Hanja came about as well. Korean Hanja is kind of like really fascinating to me because like the Hanja are like they're how I thought Chinese was pronounced initially, way back when I was a little sprout, when I was a little seed. Because some Korean king realized the masses couldn't read his edicts, so his scholars created a simplified script. Which, like, I thought Japanese was read by pronouncing each little radical in the character individually, and together they made a word, when it's like, oh no, like the whole thing is one word. Yet the Hanja are like little individual radicals that when you're writing them out, they kind of make a character. And like you read them from left to right, top to bottom. I tried to learn Hangul, but it's just confusing because there's lots of sounds that seem that like they sound like the same, but they're written differently. And then there's things that are like, here is like a thing that goes up and over. like an R. And then here's another thing that goes up. It's two of those things together, which is like a different sound. And if I want to sit down and learn it, I would just have to sit down and like really learn it. But I think I'm too old and my brain meats are all weird. Like, I learned katakana really easily just by reading manga and just translating it. Also, Mao admired the Japanese, so he wouldn't have been opposed to adopting Shinjitai. Which I assume put him at odds with the, with his people. Did I go down here? Where am I going? I'll go this way. Problem is that Shinjitai was adapted for Japanese grammar, and so it wouldn't be functional to use in Chinese. Yeah, because the Japanese will have a kanji and then maybe like a couple hiragana after it. Yes, taragana, that's exactly what I said. Like, miteru, mitai, we'll have the character of the mi, and then like the te and ru are separate. Or mite is in the character, and then ru would happen at the end, and then tai at the end. Like, yeah, there's like little things at the end. Oh, I killed it. Okay, the box is gone, good. Of course there are people out there like, oh no, you can learn a language at your age, your brain meats are perfectly okay, and it's like, listen, I know my brain meats. They've been affected by like tons and tons of stress of being an adult. It's honestly like hard for me to actually read. See, it's this. It's hard for me to remember things like nowadays sometimes because my brain meats are so messed up due to stress. I don't think Mao's admiration is necessarily at odds with the rest of China. Well, all I know is that Japan hates China, China hates Japan, due to, terrible things that happened between both of them together. I don't know how China feels about Korea, but I know Japan also hates Korea because of what happened between them. Chinese opinion in modern times can be summed up as admiration for their new innovativeness, but also anger for not apologizing for the Sino-Japanese War. Yeah, it's how America hates Japan still for Pearl Harbor and says it was perfectly okay to, like, murder hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of civilians because they killed how many people in Pearl Harbor? Like, not a lot of... Compared to how many civilians we killed of them, not a lot of our civilians were dead at Pearl Harbor. And it was okay to commit war crimes to the Japanese. Because apparently they were committing war crimes to everybody else too. Which is like... No! That's not the way this works. Japan hates Korea and China because of the racism thing when they decided they wanted to be like the Western powers because that was the only way to be respected as a nation. I.e. when they became fascists and never renounced it. Town of Cairns. Like the Rising Sun imperialists, which they kind of are like, yeah, that was bad, but like, it's still kind of admirable in a way. Is that what you're talking about? Echo. What's the temperature?
Right now, 52 degrees Fahrenheit. Today, expect a high of 73 degrees. Would you also like the current humidity?
No thanks. Yeah, it's pretty humid outside. It's pretty moist. But like, I think, just like in Chinese and Korean communities, typical Japanese don't really hate China and Korea. What's interesting is, like, in typical communities in other countries, they don't generally hate other people. In typical communities in America, that is the standard of hating everything. Like, everybody hates that in California, people speak Spanish. Even though that was part of Mexico, and they speak Spanish in Mexico. And California joined the United States in like 1853? Was that it? It was like really super recent, like in the past 200 years, so it's like, yes, of course they speak Spanish over there. And honestly, there's really nothing wrong with Spanish. It's a lot easier to pronounce than English. I mean, the only reason we hate Spanish is because we hate Mexicans. And the Cubans and the Puerto Ricans because we went in and trashed their countries, and now they come to our countries because they can't live in their country. Also, World War II history education in Japan is poor, so a lot of Japanese don't actually know why China and Korea are always throwing a fuss about it. Yeah. I would say World War II history education in America is very... America #1. We did nothing wrong at all to anyone for any reason. And, like, when you actually look at what we did is, like, we treated Germans a lot more differently than we treated, the Japanese. Like, ignoring the concentration camps we had, like, we were more, we took the prisoners of war, the German prisoners of war, were usually treated a lot better than the Japanese prisoners of war, which I hear were, like, tortured and experimented on, and, scalped, beheaded, and skinned. In World War I, America had concentration camps for Germans. See, they don't teach us that. It's like, we skip the only thing we learn about World War I is that it started when Hans Ferdinand, I think it was Hans Ferdinand, was murdered. And then there was the Great War and hoo-ha pro-Britain, because we kind of really weren't in it. We were just tangentially in it. Franz Ferdinand. That's all we really learn about World War I. Oh, and there was this person called the Red Baron, and he had he flew a biplane. That's really all we learn about it. And also, we might have had trench warfare. That's where it started. Rather than just lining up straight up with, and just shooting people. Although, actually, trench warfare started in the Civil War. But it wasn't popularized until World War I. No, World War I, not 2. We're not talking about the sequel. And treaties are bad because that's how it all happened. I mean, America is very anti-treaty. Like, let's be honest here. We really don't like making agreements and sticking to them. But yeah, I've read about Japanese expats who go to Taiwan or Singapore or China and are just surprised to learn that Japan did all that stuff. I mean, what Japan can do would be like, yes, we're bad, but compared to what Americans did, and try and set themselves up as being better than Americans and just throwing us under the bus. But I think they did some pretty horrible shit comparable to all the horrible shit we did. It appears we have arrived in Cairns. If I remember right, didn't we need to get a permit from the mayor here to use the pass that connects to Esperance? I think America would obliterate the bus with machine guns and tomahawk missiles. You're not wrong. You are absolutely not wrong. Then what are we waiting for? Let's go get one. Yay. Even if I am the last man standing, I will fight to my last breath to protect this town. That is the will of the king and my sworn duty to uphold. So we finally meet Dewey. Now I have been waiting for the day to talk to you in person. I'm a record keeper of all the 13 different records. I keep the one for max damage received. Now, if you wouldn't mind, let's see what kind of beating you have been able to take so far. Don't tell me that's all the damage you've been able to take so far. That's not the least bit. Come on! Really? The whole objective of an RPG is to not take damage. Remember though, no matter how strong you are, if you want to take a severe beating, it's as simple as getting your equipment set up in the worst way. Yeah, but that's not how you generally play a video game. Unless you're a glutton for punishment. Which there are people out there that are a glutton for punishment, like naked runs of Dark Souls. What can I get for you people? What have you got? What do I need? I guess I'll buy like 3 of these. What have I got to sell? Did I mention I do like that the standard is a to select multiple select? Alright kids, don't put annoying sounds on like transitioning from one item to another. Because they become annoying. Don't be a stranger. Alright, it's been an hour and I need to pee. Because I drank a bunch of liquid. Switch to BRB. Hey, Rentype, switch to BRB. It's like, did I say it's BRB? Let me see. It is. Wait, no, it's not. It's kind of. BRB. Be right back?
Magnesia will be back soon. Gentle Sprouts.
I'm back. Rentype, why are you still there? Did the thing mess up again? I'll figure out a way to get that to work eventually, properly. I mean, I just wish I had an OBS OBS plugin, like, if this program is making noise, show this image. If it stops making noise, remove image. Which I know there's something for Discord, but, like, Rentype isn't Discord. My big sister disappeared. I wonder where she went. She's dead. Sorry, I'm just telling you like it is. This is an RPG game. Or maybe you never had a sister. Alright, progress. Are you the mayor here? Who are you, may I ask? We have come here seeking a permit to use the pass in order to reach Esperance. The permit, you say? Then if I could have you please sign here and state your intentions. Sign there first, and then be like, well, I signed it, so you owe it to me. Understood. So we have Albert, Bruno, Esther, and Julia, do we? And I see your intent is to gain audience with the king. Could it be you're the rumored heroes with the order? Heroes with the order? I must be in luck, seeing as how I could meet the lot of you here like this. What do you say? Might I ask you to spend the night at my home this evening? Trap. Totally a trap. The gate to the pass, it closed during the gate to the pass, it is closed during the night, so you will have to wait until morning in any case. What do you think, Albert? Given the mayor's generous offer, I think it'd be rude to turn him down. It seems to me like an abuse of authority. Please do not think of it that way. Shouldn't we rather be grateful for his kindness? Yes, you should. But, really? Now please spend the night under the safety of my roof this evening. Totally a trap. Very well. However, this is not my choice. But I didn't want to spend the night yet! I've got things to do in town. Albert, are you awake? Yeah, what do you want, Magnus? How about you ridding this world of all its revenants? What is your plan after you have accomplished that? Why do you care all of a sudden? Just answer the question. I don't know. I don't really have any plans. Have you no vision of a future for yourself? Well, I mean, to rid the world of all revenants, he'd have to kill himself because he's a revenant. Well, continuing to serve in the order seems like it'll be a bore, and I can't feed you doing a normal job, right? As you know, you cost me 30 times an average human for meals. I guess I could always be a bounty hunter, could I? At least then my powers would be being used for good. And you expect me to stay with you like this forever? You have so far, haven't you, compadre? Do not call me that. Speaking of compadre, I really don't like, communistic, socialistic people calling everyone comrade. Like, communist Russia probably isn't the best thing to emulate, because, like, those leaders did a lot of bad things. Like, communism good, communist Russia not as good. I'd rather have a word from, like, compadre or something, or invent a new word. Demons like myself do not need companions. We live for battle, destruction, and to live off our prey. Way to spoil the conversation. No, you merely underestimate a demon. I should tell you. Excuse me. That's alright. I'm going to get some sleep. We have an early morning ahead of us tomorrow. Do not doze off until I've finished with what I have to say. Sleeps. I mean, you could take over his body, force him awake, and then talk to yourself so he remembers it. Were you able to sleep well last night? Yes, thanks to your generous hospitality. This was a nice change from sleeping outside. I am glad to hear it. Now, here is your permit. Please take it. What do you mean this wasn't a trap? RPG logic says this should have been a trap. If you head south from town and make a detour around the mountains, you will find Anvil Pass. If you show that to the soldiers stationed there, they should let you through without any trouble. We are grateful for your help. Oh, I'm just glad I could be of some service to you heroes. Nice to have logic subverted. Yeah, this game seems to be subverting all the RPG logic. Like, so far, the religious leader isn't corrupted. And actually might be a decent person? Slash demigod slash god. And so far, like, really none of the characters have fallen into, like, tropes. Like, the girl isn't just the girl. And then the little kid kind of isn't really the little kid. And the hero is like the hero, but kind of in a bland way, which is actually not too bad, because like the heroes that I know from JRPGs are like fucking terrible. We must now be going. Take care and may Restoria watch over you. Anvil Pass is a treacherous place. Be sure to prepare well before attempting to head there. AKA, improve your weapons. Why does this guy have so many beds? Is his family that big? Subquest! Side quest! Oh, how busy I am. But you there, you look to have some free time on your hands. Could I get you to help me with something? Me, I'm not free like you think, and I need some slime extract from a mad slime. You go get some for me, right? Yeah, I got plenty of that stuff already. Besides, it doesn't seem like it'll be much trouble. Thank you, thank you, thank you, the mayor forbade us from burning anything else for lamp fuel. Okay, the mayor is very obviously corrupted, but we're not going to do anything about it. Because we're heroes, we have a quest to go on. We don't have time to, like, restructure an entire town's way of thinking. About the mad slimes, though, they live in the vicinity outside town. Now, if I could, I would like you to get 3 slime extracts from them. I'll be waiting. I mean, if the mayor's doing it for environmental reasons, that's one thing, but, you know, I highly doubt that. Were you able to get the 3 slime extracts like I asked for? Right here. Hope they'll do. These will more than do. Now I don't have to get yelled at by the mayor for burning horse apples in my lamp anymore. You can burn apples? Like, are they filled, did they have alcohol in them just naturally, and that's why you burn them? Now, for helping me out on such short notice, I would like you to have this. First ring? Now it's off to get the rest of the cleaning and then the laundry done. I wonder when I'll ever get a break. Speaking of tropes, I saw like this skit of a VTuber of going tsundere, kudere, yandere. Wait, no, not in that order. It's kudere, yandere, tsundere. How about you do your landere? Horse apples. They're like either apples for horses, apples that look like horses, or apples that look like horses that are for horses. Or like apples that are made from horses, or apples that are made from horses that are for horses that look like horses. Both the king and those from the owner do a lot to help us out. That's why we need to do our part too. Hello there, a fine-looking band of travelers. I'm a collector of the rarest gems the world has to offer. But with the world being so wide, I'm having a hard time finding what I'm after. But if you happen to have any rare jewels, I would just love to make a deal for them. Of course, there's a handsome reward in it for you, too. If you happen to be carrying 5 sapphires, I'd love for you to kindly make a deal with me for them. Let's make a deal. Jewels themselves are said to be occasionally found in treasure chests and even wooden crates in battle. You know, someone was saying, well, wait, no, it's not someone. It's Changeling that was saying about the captions. And, like, so far the captions have been, like, kind of on point. But, like, yeah, you can see how captions became captains. But then again, if you're talking in like an accent or something, like the whole captions thing kind of is like on point, because I have no idea. I get a feeling that most captions are tuned to British English instead of, like, you know, the proper English of America. Like, hey Meryl, you know how to pronounce things properly, right? I pronounce my name. Okay, this word. Which is the more correct pronunciation? Except the word properly. Which is the correct pronunciation? Number 1, the British pronunciation, who at one point conquered and colonized the country it is from. Kebab. Number 2, the American pronunciation, which kind of just rejects the British pronunciation and kind of applauds Britain for, like, colonizing the country it comes from, but also kind of, like, doesn't care and pronounces it kebab. Number 2, it is pronounced kebab. Or near pronunciation of kebab. Which, honestly, to me, the British pronounce things very wrongly. Like, they pronounce pasta, which I do believe is pronounced pasta, as pasta or pasta or something like that. It's honestly hard for me to pronounce it the way they pronounce it. Like pasta or something. And they pronounce kebabs as kebabs. Which, like, bothers me to no end. The British are very wrong. Yes. I mean, America's, like, wrong too, but, like, Britain is very wrong. I default to the Romanized pronunciation unless otherwise stated. But the Romanized pronunciation is both the British and American pronunciation. At the same time, in the same universe. Like, it's spelled K-E-B-A-B, as far as I know, in, like, English letters. The US is just the out-of-control tumor Britain had. A-E-I-O-U. Yeah, that's the standard version of pronouncing those letters. In multiple languages, like Spanish, A-E-I-O-U. Japanese, A-E-I-O-U. Italian, I think, A-E-I-O-U. German, A-E-I-O-U, and we'll add a few more vowels on top of that because why not? Which I think are I don't think E has an umlaut. Oo? Or E? Which, like, you throw it up in your nasal passage, like E? And then O was like, Like, it's kind of Frenchy sounding. Frenchy sounding captions. Yes, it is the Frenchy sounding capitans. Yeah, alright, captions, really. I kind of wish this online caption thing had a way for me to train words for it so it would get better, better know what I'm saying. Anyway, we were playing a video game. There have been casualties due to the monsters and revenants in other towns and villages too, right? It seems we're all suffering from the same set of circumstances, doesn't it? I blame the French for England's oddness, especially the Normans. Like, I don't like French. You have a pile of letters there and you don't even pronounce half of them. And like, the difference between, I think, egg and eggs is ah and Like, that's literally how you pronounce eggs, is like ah and And like, one of them has more letters than the other one. Or it's both and but one of them has more letters than the other one. And I really hear that modern French was specifically designed, the writing system was specifically designed to be as confusing as possible, so poor people couldn't learn it as good. Some French symbols sound like sneezes, others like vomiting. Britain was also a Roman colony, so them too. Yeah, Britain was a Roman colony, and... Was it Britain? Was it Britons and Romans, or... What country had the problem with, like, the barbarian tribe right across near them was, like, seducing their women by simply, like, taking care of themselves by, like, combing, braiding, and decorating their hair and beards, and actually taking baths every day, or every other day, or at least once a week. That was the English. The barbarians were Vikings. Like, that's another thing I don't like. One thing I don't like about the Thor in, God of War, and, like, even the Marvel Universe, their beards would be braided and decorated. And kind of smoothed down. Because that's what the Vikings did. The men actually decorated themselves more than the women. But when we look at the Vikings we have, and we like the fake Vikings we have, we always make them with this beard that's like all over the place, and like that's not, no, it would be braided and have decorations of beads and things. Thor braided his beard at the end of Endgame. To Rome, they're all barbarians, and before Endgame, his beard is tidy. Yeah, it's kind of just tidy, but like, he kind of had the goatee, didn't he? But, like, when it gets longer, like, if it's Vikings, it should be braided. So the Thor in God of War, his beard should be braided and decorated, especially because he's a god. It would probably be with flashy jewels and beads and everything. And his hair would be braided and decorated, too. That's the only thing I take issue with, is that Thor of God of War would be a lot more, like, formal and neat looking. I give Marvel Thor more leeway because space alien. Yeah, That's another thing I kind of don't like about comic books, is that all your gods are aliens or something, but like the true god either is like untouchable, or if they actually do make it whatever, it's like not an alien. I think Poetic Edithor was also known for being a lout, so... So maybe he'd have like one braid in his beard with like possibly 2 or 3 beads in it. Not like how other Vikings would be with like, you know, the like nicely braided beads and stuff. Like, isn't Vikings also known for knot work in their etchings and stuff? Like, I think they would know how to like braid hair in various what's the word I'm looking for? Flamboyant? What's the E word I'm looking for? Very fancy ways of, like, braiding their hair. Asgardians were just super advanced aliens at the start, and then later became straight-up gods who happened to live in space. I mean... What the hell is that my elbow that was flopping up and down? Jeez. The king increased the number of soldiers guarding our town, but over half of them were killed. Population control! I love it when I think the captions are gonna go with one word, and then it goes with a completely different word. In recent days, abductions of the local residents have grown even more frequent, and then there are graves being robbed, too. This may sound disrespectful, but Restoria is more powerful than even the king. Well, I mean, you're not wrong. The king is just a human being, and Restoria is apparently a god? I mean, if I was a god, I'd live in space. Or, because I live in space, I am a god. Odin in Thor 1. We're not gods, Odin. We're not gods. Odin in Thor Ragnarok. You're not the god of hammers, you're the god of thunder. I am the god of thunder hammers. Excuse me. I've been drinking a lot of soda, so I'm going to make weird noises with my body. Because that's what bodies do when you have substances that have various other substances in them. That is why we who serve Restoria are proud of the work we do to bear up this kingdom? Like, are you sticking bears around everywhere? Are they like chainmail bears? Or are they plate mail bears? Yes, I said bears. I summoned the changeling chain of the chainmail bears. Armored bears. Specifically chainmail bears. We will bear up this kingdom of bears with armored bears. I think it's interesting that if I want to, like, have a small army, I know a provider for chainmail, for armor, and I know a provider for, knives and possibly swords for weapons. Don't you think the knights in the order are cool? Still, I think the soldiers in the king's army are just as studly. Okay. I honestly haven't been seeing a lot of studs around here. Except for, like, Bruno. But okay. The Ring Lord actually shipped the rings I ordered when they said they did. I'm impressed. I guess they're known for not shipping the rings in a timely fashion. Also, I find it interesting that it's my right hand that's up, but I have my left hand up currently. because I have this, like, not mirrored, because it does the thing better when it's not mirrored. They'll say, we shipped it, and then I check the tracking service, awaiting item for, like, a week. Yeah, I often wonder how that shipping service goes, because sometimes I've seen it, they say they've shipped the item. Well, I think, okay, that's exactly, like, they say they shipped the item, but it only means they printed the shipping label. Like, that doesn't mean they've actually shipped it, they just printed the label and maybe stuck it on the box that it's supposed to be on. But, like, they won't actually ship it until, like, a weekend or a Friday or whenever the mail goes out, or, like, whatever month the mail goes out. But technically, they can't take your money unless they have actually put it in the actual mail. So if they say we've shipped it and it's not actually shipped and you've been charged for it, they can kind of get in trouble for that. But usually people ship their stuff about around on the same day that they charge you for it, or like they're supposed to. Sorry, I'm looking at my, I did my nails up for my thing because I kind of got tired of my hands being too plain. So I have sprout nails. We're kind of filling out this entire map. I have no idea when this game will end. Because we have, that's not what I wanted at all! Stop doing the thing! Like, we have this island that I'm not certain we can get to. This island, which I'm not certain we can get to. This, I'm not sure if we should be that one, I think there is something there. At that, I think there is something there. So I'm not sure if that's endgame. There's an island down here and an island over there. I'm not sure if this is just flavor islands. But this looks like it has, like, mountains on it, so I'm thinking maybe we were able to go over there. We could probably go over there right now with our ship, but I remember seeing a lot of whirlpool things on the island. So I have no idea where the end of the game is going to take us. If it's like Final Fantasy, it'll throw us out in space. But you know, fantasy games are all about, oh, there's super high technology. Which, from what I hear, it comes from Wizardry and Might and Magic, and possibly Ultima at the same time, since they are all around at the same time. Like, the whole reveal at the end was, oh, there's a spaceship. I know definitely Might and Magic. I ordered a bunch of ornament bear rings. I'm also going to make a circlet, like a crown, but since I can't make an actual chainmail crown easily, a headband instead. That sounds pretty cool. I take it Ring Lord couldn't call themselves the Lord of the Rings due to copyright. Alright, I need to go east of town. I forget how I got into town. Is that Downer? I like the Enigmatica 6B mod better than the NTP Limitless 3B mod. Was the NTP Limitless 3 the one that, the one that I was using way back, like the iteration before the iteration? Before the iteration? The one that was two servers back. Okay, that was forestry. Oh, so you're talking about the last iteration where I was having trouble finding bees and actually getting them to have, like, bee sex? Forestry bees were amazing. Yeah, they were amazing. Like, here are my ice devil bees. They will murder you and make things cold. Like that one time I actually got killed walking by my beehives because they were aggressive. Wow, these items we're getting are such downers. Alright, we have to go in here. Oh, people! I see a pair of gatekeepers up ahead. I miss IC2, but Mechanism is a great replacement. I like the ones where we had the forestry bees because I kind of could grasp how to make, like, make machines spit out their stuff to other machines. The one that we had last time, I couldn't figure out, like, how I could get one machine to, like, spit it in a chest, which kind of sounds like the easiest thing. And I thought, like, I think before, like, in the yeah, this B mod is better. Like, I remember, I want to say when I had the big house, like the 2-story, 3-story house with, like, the basement and the bees, like, it was easy to push things from like, a machine into a chest because it was just like a pipe, and it'd just do the thing. But then, like, the one where I had my aquarium, like, I couldn't figure out which pipe or what I needed to actually have the machine push it into the chest. Unless it was just a hopper. But I wanted to, like, push the thing into the chest and then, like, go from the chest into the machine. And then back into the chest, and I couldn't figure that out. And I couldn't go from the machine into the chest either, because I set up my forge to try and push the stuff back in the chest. And anyway, it never worked. I tried to set it up and it never worked. Oh, do you have a permit? I take it you mean this one? Let me have a look at it. Yes, this is valid, alright. You are now free to pass. Thanks! There have been reports of monsters attacking travelers in the past. Be sure to stay alert. They have apiaries now that have their own internal storage that's basically itself a chest. That's good. Cause I remember, like, in the forestry bee mod, having to go into each hive all the time. Wait, did I do that? I thought I actually could set those up to, like, spit into a chest. But it's good that they have their internal chest rather than trying to have my beehives spit out into a chest. Because, like, bees don't work that they make 3 combs of honey and then that's it. Then you have to, like, get the combs of honey. No, bees will just, like, start making other combs of honey somewhere else. Like, that's how beehives work. Also, the saying I found is that bees are far more vegan than eating vegetables because bees are treated far better than the people, like, picking your vegetables. Like, bees live a pretty cushy life. Like, domestic bees live a pretty cushy life compared to their wild counterparts because they are specifically treated like they're fed, watered, taken care of better than, like, because, like, if you want the honey, you're gonna have to take care of your bees. Yeah, bees are basically treated like middle management. Like, you know, you feed your bees. Yes, we'll do that. You have to feed your bees. You have to make sure your bees are comfortable. They're the right temperature. You know, during winter, I don't know what you do with bees, but I think they hibernate, but you make sure that your bees don't get too cold. Meanwhile, the people picking your fruits and vegetables are treated like garbage. Do they have enough money to live? Who cares? They're easily replaceable. So that's another thing that I don't like about vegans that are, like... Really, the only reason why the only good reason I see for veganism is, hey, my body has allergies to, like, meat and stuff. Because I can tell you all the humanitarian reasons why people are vegan, like, fly in the face of how our world works. Basically, the best way to be vegan and not harm anybody is to, like, just not eat, period. If there's nobody to eat the things, then that means there's nobody to pick the things and to be abused, and that's kind of going down a very dark philosophy. Also, it's almost 2 hours, so I'm gonna stop here. Even though I feel I didn't quite get stuff done, but, switch to powering down. Yay, you actually worked. Kind of. But, yeah, or have your own garden. But the thing is with gardening is that if you're a shit gardener, you're not gonna have any food. I'm kind of a shit gardener. Maybe it's because, like, I take too much care of my plants that I overwater them. But all I know is that the basil that I made, I've made basil, I'm a god! The basil that I've planted, because I've heard basil is an easy herb to take care of, is actually growing pretty good. I even made the little cuttings of it, and the cuttings are doing pretty good. Which, you can kind of abuse basil. Like, I put the seeds in the ground, waited till the seeds grew, and, like, kept watering the seeds, and the seeds produced sprouts, and then sprouts grew into plants, and then I did the cuttings on the, if you're doing basil, I have, like, the first row of leaves, and then, like, a second row of leaves, and then a third row of leaves, and I cut, like, at the, second row of leaves. That's the way I like to do my basil. Because, like, otherwise, like, if you cut, like, you cut down at the bottom, or above the second row of leaves, like you just got like one leaf. So I like my basil to have 3 tiers of leaves before I do cuttings. Technically, whenever you cut the basil at the leaves, I think you want to cut. You want to cut above the leaves to do your clippings, I do believe. Yeah, you cut above the leaves and they'll grow upward. And then you stick the stems in water until they grow roots, and then you stick the roots in the ground, and then your basil grows. It's kind of fascinating that I haven't killed my basil yet. Even though I've kind of cut I did cuttings of it. And, you know, cutting plants are like, I've cut plants before and they've just died. Like, all of the plant died. Like, the cuttings and the plant. It's like, I feel so sad. Also, cactuses are hard to take care of because if you knock them over, they're dead. Like, if you cut into a cactus, it's pretty much all over for the cactus. So cactuses are very hard to take care of. Basil. Basil is a plant that if you want an easy plant to grow, that doesn't take up a lot of space and doesn't really need a lot of light. It's good. I used a 16-ounce sour cream container as a pot with some soil in it, and then I threw the seeds in there, and the seeds grew. Like, all of the seeds. There's a lot of plants in my basil pot. Probably more plants that should be in there, but they're growing. And then you just water them until they grow, and I think you just kind of water them once a day until they sprout. You kind of keep watering them, but not overwatering them. And then they'll like start getting into they start growing into adulthood, and then I think you can kind of water them once a week or once every other day. And then spray the leaves with like a spray bottle if you have it. Or you can do what I do, is just throw them outside next to the balcony railing, where they might get a little bit of light every day, and it'll rain every day, and they'll get enough water, like to where they're almost drowning, and then they'll survive because it's a basil. I don't know. I'm just saying that I've abused this poor basil, and it's still growing. It's not growing as good as it can be, but it is growing. And it hasn't died on me yet. Then again, maybe this basil is taking pity on me. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, having your own garden. Yeah, basil is a plant. If you want your own garden, I don't think you can survive off of just basil, but like, I've tried to grow tomatoes, which is supposedly easy, and all my tomato plants died. I've tried to grow Brussels sprouts, and all my Brussels sprouts died. My potatoes, I don't know if my potatoes are growing. They seem to be doing something, but they don't actually have any leaves. So I'm not certain if my potatoes are alive, dead, or undead. They probably need more dirt on top of their roots. I think they're sprouting roots. But I don't know how potatoes work. I kind of want my own beehive, but I don't think you're allowed to have your own beehive in apartments because all the bees will go upstairs and downstairs and sting everyone. And you'll be like, where are these bees coming from? I'll be like, yeah, I have a beehive on my porch. Everyone's just looking at you like you put bees on your porch. What else did I want to say? I think that's it for now. I think I ran out of topics. Is there any topics that I should elucidate on? Did I forget something in my brain that I said I was going to talk about and that I didn't talk about? Let's see, October, probably going to be doing a lot of spooky games. Also going to be doing, like, at the end of, I think you covered, yeah. Cool. I do have ADHD. I was diagnosed as a child. I was not given medication because my mom thought it was, like, she didn't want to be, like, drugged up. She didn't want me to be drugged up like all the other kids were being, like, she thought it was being overdiagnosed. But I was diagnosed with ADD as a kid. And then apparently I supposedly got rid of it when I was growing up. No, I didn't. And so here I am today with a, yes, diagnosed but untreated ADHD, because, you know, when you have ADD as a kid and you grow up, you just have ADD as an adult. So, like, my brain, while it's good for some things and can remember some random things, it is not good for remembering things short term until, like, much later. So yeah, October, spooky games. At the end, like, where I'm doing this kind of thing, I will probably do, like, Japanese fortune-telling, tarot cards, / whatever kind of game things. Oh, I'm not even sure if you could call them games. They're more like applications. Scary Sprout Night, exactly. I'd be doing Scary Sprout Night. So it's probably going to be a lot of RPG Maker games, of the Japanese variety. Because honestly, Western horror games, they don't do it for me. Because you're usually some dude with a gun running around shooting and killing all the scary things. Which doesn't make it scary anymore, because you got a gun. I mean, I think Alien Isolation's the only one that gets it right, because you can shoot at the alien, but you're just gonna get eaten that much faster. Like, the guns are for the other humans and, like, the androids. The only thing the alien respects is the flamethrower. And note, the flamethrower only makes it go away for a while. It doesn't kill it. But yeah, mostly gonna probably be Japanese horror, because, like, Japanese horror is always like, you can't do anything to the ghost. The only thing you can do is run and hide, and or, like, not be in that situation to begin with. And Korean horror and Chinese horror. There's, like, a few Chinese horror games that I wanna play. Because, like, I think it's some of these Chinese horror games are kind of like detective, supernatural horror games. Like, you've heard that, like, there's this house that there's real strange things going on, so of course you go there to see what they are, and you're trying to put the pieces together of what happened to understand why it's, like, haunted and stuff. But I gotta see what actual games that I have. Like, sometimes I buy a bundle just for, like, 1 or 2 games, and I get, like, all the other games with it. And I'm like, well, I don't exactly hate this game, so I guess I'll add it to my library. Which I also might be doing game giveaways of all the other games that I don't really want. that somebody else might like. Or I could do like Lilyverse does and just have a random Steam key giveaway. So, here you go. Here's the random game. I certainly don't want it, but now it's your problem. Like, I've won 2 games from her, and one of them was, like, Zombie Derby? Like, apparently you're in a car and you go around and there's zombies. And what was the other one? Zombie Derby and Night Shift, which I don't know what it is. It doesn't look like it's a bad game. It looks like it might be kind of, it's third person, maybe it's an ARPG just zoomed in or something, but I don't know, I got that one too. It doesn't look like a game I might buy, but I might play it and find out if I like it or not, because, you know, there's some games I play and I'm like, oh hey, this is a pretty good game. Oh, I'm just reading my Vroid Studio gets an outfits overlay, so, this outfit might be upgraded, changed, or something, because I wanted to do an outfit for Revenant Saga, and I want to do a fishing outfit, because I do fishing games, so, this clothing might change. It's just a pain in the ass to, like, when I have it in Unity to, like, do all the blend shapes again. Like, I think Suvidriel has a tutorial to just copy-paste over all of your blend shapes to make it easier, but I'm not certain. Basically, I have this avatar. Let me copy-paste all the blend shapes over to the new avatar, because those don't change. Let me copy-paste the, my animations on this to the new one, because that doesn't change. All I want to change is the body, which is kind of a hassle in Unity because of the way Unity works. Anyways, let me find somebody to raid. Who's streaming? Nobody, really. There's Kaguya Nikki, a VTuber that's playing through all of the Final Fantasies 1 through 15. She's speedrunning those. And there's Comfy Bacillus that's doing Toho Project. And I'm just kind of like, with the people I have here, I'm not sure any of you want to watch any of that. Then again, I have a feeling like one of you is going to go to sleep, and one of you is going to go off and do something completely else. So I think I shall just call it here. Thanks everyone for joining me. Thanks everyone that's gonna watch the VOD. Thanks everyone that's gonna watch the YouTubes whenever whenever I get uploaded to YouTube, which it's not a hard process to upload it to YouTube, but YouTube doesn't save. YouTube used to have it to where, like, if it was in a series, it would save all of the settings. Like, the only thing you needed to do was, like, put the recording date, or if you wanted to. But it would add it to the playlist automatically, it would, it'd give you the title automatically. It would actually generate a title automatically, and then, you know, you change it kind of based off on the playlist. It'd add it to the playlist automatically, and the rest of the settings, like, comments, how you wanted the comments to appear. The tags and all that stuff was, you know, it was all, you know, it was all automatic. It was actually nice. It was a feature many people relied on. And they took it away because they're Google. Because that's Google, is let's make this as hard as possible for people. So, thanks to the people going to watch the video on the Tubes of You. And Monday. Probably more fishing. Around that time, fishing might happen. Wait. Okay, that's the 26th, 27th. It's not October yet. But that week will be the last real fishing video for a while. And let's see, Thursday is the 30th and the 1st is on Friday. Probably another episode of Revenant Saga. It's horror themed, it's got Revenant in the title. But then the week after that would be Scary Sprout games. Until November. And then we go back to Revenant Saga and Real Fishing. Yeah. That's not to say that there won't be fishing games in October, because there's like one fishing game I want to play. I hear there's another fishing game that's coming out that's a horror-themed fishing game. I'll see if I can find any horror-themed fishing games. And then, like, Mondays will be the horror-themed fishing games, if possible. I might just even do just aquatic-themed or aquatic-adjacent themed games, and then Thursday will be, like, the toss-up or whatever. Anyways. I'm gonna stop streaming now, or I'll keep ranting about stuff that doesn't matter. Thanks again, everybody. Oh, shoutouts. Gotta do my shoutouts. For everybody reading the, Meryl doing Neverwinter Nights, which is the, I forget what expansion you're doing. Mask of the Betrayer, that's the expansion. Expansion, the campaign, the side quest, the thing. Yeah, Mask of the Betrayer. Sorry, I'm looking at my little light things on my head, and it's like... Okay, they're going the way I think they're supposed to be going. It's just the way my leaves overlap each other. Shout out to Changeling Chain. Doing some chainmail over there, making a patchwork patchwork chainmail thing for a bear. For their mom. Because it was commissioned. And now I disappear into the ether.